All right, thanks for joining us in another video today. Today we're going to talk about access control. So access control, controlling access to doors in specific, really, or entry points on buildings. So access control is can be used in many different ways. Now, technically, a keypad on a door is access control, but what we're talking about more is standalone access control and full-blown systems like cloud-based systems or non-cloud-based access control systems. So we install both, and there's a time and place for both. The cheaper option is standalone access control, and then if you need something a little bit more robust, you'd go to a full-blown system like Brevo or PDK or Rossler or ZK Techco, Paxton, CDVI. That goes on and on and on. There's a lot of different brands. Remote lock. So I'll show you a little bit. I have some things here we can show you in the shop about access control, just to make it, this is called access control for dummies. So if you're not familiar with it or interested in getting into the trade or learning about it, I'll quickly touch on everything for you, just so you can kind of get a gist of what that is exactly. Or if you're just a person looking for, if you've heard the term access control and you're wondering what that is and what that service is basically installing some kind of a code entry, badge entry, fingerprint reader, retina scanner, facial recognition. I mean, it gets in all different ways. You use that method, or even intercoms, and you can use that method to control who comes and goes through each door, instead of using something like a key system, like a master key system or just regular keys, because that can be handed over to anybody. But so can a code, technically. But if you have a badge, or if you have a fingerprint or face, your face or whatever, you can use that as your credential to get in and bypass that door. So I have a couple things set up here in the store. They're not ideal for this situation, but I can get my point across through this video. So I'm going to take you to a couple different scenarios here in the shop. We have a training room in the back where I have some panels and stuff for like a full-blown system where we kind of trial and error things out and bench test some of our products. And then I have a standalone setup in front that I show to the customers all the time that I can show you. So, but just to explain, standalone is like installing a keypad on the door and then wiring everything that needs to get wired into it, and all the programming is done at the keypad. So if you have like 20 users, you're gonna have to be programming in that standalone keypad, pound, user number 001 pound, its code is star 2562 star, and you enter everybody like that. You enter in their user number and what their code is, and you're entering all that into the keypad, and all that stays inside of that keypad. There's no way of tracking whose code was used when, or who has access between what time, or setting schedules or any of that. It's all just in the keypad. You have a code. The code is either valid or not valid in the keypad, and that's it. That's what a standalone is. So let's go ahead and go over to the standalone section real quick, and I'll show you what a general little standalone access control system looks like. Not on a door, because I don't have it installed on a door here, but it is a demo ready little setup. So let's go take a look at that standalone access control, and then I'll show you the differences when it goes over to a full-blown system, whether it's either a local system, kind of old school, where it's stored on a local computer, or a cloud-based system, which is what we mostly install these days, is all cloud-based, where it's stored on the cloud on other servers across the world. So let's go take a look at the standalone setup real quick. All right, so this is an example of a standalone access control system, kind of on a wall, right? So you have, in a standalone, you have your keypad, which all your programming's in here. So you get the programming instruction book, you program in your 500 users or 10 users or whatever you have into this keypad. The keypad gets power from the power supply. In this particular setup, we have a button that releases the door, which this will be the device, right? So you have a strike, or you have a mag lock, or you have a surface mount strike like this, or a mag lock, or an in-frame strike, or something, or a electrified lever or electrified mortise body, whatever the device is that's holding the door closed. You have that device, you have the keypad that takes the input and sends a signal of yes, that's acceptable, and releases whatever the device is. So this device here changes as whatever application it is and what kind of door it's going on. But anyway, in this particular setup here, you have your power supply, your keypad, you have a button to let someone in the door, or you have a wireless button to let someone in the door. So like, for example, if I hit this button here, right? So as soon as I hit it, it becomes pliable. And then as soon as I don't, then it's locked, right? So I'm unlocking the door. Same thing here if I enter the right code. I think it's pound, or maybe it's 20, 10, something like that. I don't remember the code, but you hit the code and it releases the lock, right? And you program all your codes into that unit. Or you have a button where you just hit the button and it releases the strike. So on a standalone unit, there is no software, there is no computer, there is no storing things in the cloud, there is no access control panel, which is the brains for whatever type of system you're using. Everything's programmed in here, and it can just be a simple system where it's like keypad, power, and whatever your device is that you're releasing. Or you can wire in a button or a wireless button to let someone in, or an intercom. In the intercom, you can see people on there, talk to them, and then hit a button and release the strike or whatever it may be. That's a standalone setup. Now, a full system, you're going to have everything you have here pretty much, but you're going to have a panel, and the panel is the brains. And that panel may accommodate 1 door, 2 doors, 4 doors, 6 doors, 8 doors, whatever size panel you get. Different providers have different types of panels, whether it's Brevo, PDK, or something different, which are 2 of the ones we install the most of. So if this was a cloud-based system, you'd have the panel, the power supply, a different keypad that's not a standalone keypad. It's just an input, basically. Either a badge is presented to it or a code is entered. There's nothing stored in the keypad on that type of system. It's all stored in the panel. So I have an example in the back. It's not the best example, but I have an example in the back. So whenever I quote someone on an access control system, I say, okay, what kind of door is this going on? Oh, okay, it's going on this type of door, so I need a surface strike, or maybe I need a mag lock, or maybe I need an electrified mortise body, or an electrified lever, or an electrified panic bar. You have the device, the keypad, panel, the power supply, and then that's pretty much it, you know. And then if you want to add in some cool features like buzz-ins, then you'd add in little features like this and things like that. So let's go take a look at some of the other stuff I have in the back where we do some of our training and our bench testing, and I'll show you just a little bit more of some more examples for you. All right, so this is where we do some of our bench testing at. It's kind of under construction back here, so this take you to this corner here. So this right here is an access control panel. It's actually a Brevo access control panel. It usually looks something like that when it's on the wall, okay? And it's lit up usually. When it's powered, it's not powered right now. So we take that off, and you have your panel, right? So there's a lot of loose wires because we're constantly, you know, hooking up different things and testing. But for instance, here's a reader. The reader's wired into the panel. The panel's wired into the power supply. And then you have your strike, so that if you enter the right code, it says, yes, you're correct, you have permission, shoots over and releases the strike, right? Or if it's a mag lock where you have the plate on the door and it's holding the door closed, and you walk up, you activate a motion detector, it releases the mag, or you hit a button and it releases the mag, or you enter the code and it releases the mag. Or you have a little buzz-in system where you hit the button and that sends a signal to bypass the system and let someone in the door. So when you're dealing with a full system, which when you're trying to qualify a customer, or if you are an end user right now trying to figure out where you want to go with this, if you're wanting to set schedules, meaning I want the door to automatically open at 8 o'clock every morning, or I do want it to open at 8, but if someone's running late, I don't want my door just to open up, so I'm going to go ahead and set the feature first person in. And that means first person to come present their badge in the morning. At that point, it'll leave it unlocked for the rest of the day until you have it set in the system to lock back at like 5 o'clock or whenever. So if you are looking for a full system, usually it's for people who want scheduling, people who want an audit trail. So I want to see in the computer, say it's a 10-door system. Okay, well, Billy went in door 4 at 3 o'clock, and then he went in door 6 2 minutes later. And then for some reason, he came back at midnight and tried entering the front door, which he didn't have permission to show it. So it shows a denied access, things like that. And you could use different types of credentials on your readers. You could do PIN, you could do badge, you could do fingerprint, you could use your cell phone, you could do many different, you could do facial recognition, you could do all kinds of different stuff. And you can tie in an intercom system as well. And the intercom, you can talk to them with an intercom and then hit a button and it'll release the door, strike, or whatever. So you can tie in different components to them. It's really a free-flowing system that you can tie in all these different devices to and make it do what you want it to do. But the reason why you'd go with like something like this, a full-blown system, like using a Brevo system or a PDK or something different, is because you want to be able to track who's coming and going, set schedules, be able to pull audit trails, use other special features, all kinds of other special features, use badges, because you can do badges on standalone. There's very few keypads that are standalone keypads that let you do badges, and it's a pain in the butt to program in, and you can't pull an audit trail on it though, but you can use a badge. There's a few standalone readers that allow you to do that, but for the most part, if you want badges, you need to do a full system. Now, about 5 years ago, everything really hard started shifting to cloud-based access control, because traditionally you would store all your data on one laptop or one computer, and if that computer crashed, you lost all your data, and now you got to rebuild the whole database for all your whole company. Well, the cloud-based systems, you can jump on any computer, even your cell phone, and all your data is stored, triple redundancy on different servers across the world. So using a system like Brevo gives you tons of flexibility. You can access from anywhere. You can do just about anything with it. Cloud-based is the way to go. It's the way of the future. Everything's going that way. So hopefully this kind of gives you an overview and understanding about how those systems kind of work. And a lot of people don't know that term, access control. What does that mean? So hopefully this helps you out. And thanks for tuning in to the video. We appreciate the support as always. We're on all the social media platforms: LinkedIn, Twitter, LinkedIn, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, Rumble, YouTube, of course. We have 2 other YouTube channels, Facebook. So thanks for tuning in. We appreciate the support as always, and stay tuned for more videos.